Hi guys, Marcio here. Today let's talk about how to convert entity classes to DTO classes in Java in an easy way. The easiest way to do that. In the developer's daily life, sometimes we need to convert entity classes from data sources, from databases, into DTO classes to transform some data to deliver from view layer and other necessities. Then exists a framework, a library called MapStruct that helps to do this transformation the easy way. Okay, here an example from the author: creating an entity car, and second a DTO class of car, and a mapper class that's mapping entity car to a DTO car. Okay, here is an instance of a mapper, this interface, and the attributes of these classes to DTO. And in here, in the end, a car mapper test to check if the mapper works. Okay, let's here below some dependencies of main dependencies to our project. Let's hands-on and do that live. Uh, we will create a Maven project, a simple project. Skip here, check here, and create a project called entity to DTO. Group ID is a name of organization, but for education cases, that's okay. Artifact ID is the name of our project, entity to DTO, and finish. That's it. Our Maven project is finished. Is finished to start the building. Let's beginning to inserting the dependencies to build our project. Let's check first MapStruct, the main library to do the mapping. Put here and find for org MapStruct here, the official 142.final. Second, MapStruct processor. MapStruct library is a notation processor that compiles these codes and creates all necessities, all needs behind our codes. Here the processor. Here SRJ core to help us to test our methods, our projects. Asset core, SRJ, and the end some version of JUnity. Here in this example I'm using JUnity 4 runner, but you can use some another version. This is guarantee is checked, and that's it. Save, and Eclipse plugin, Maven Eclipse plugin will download the dependencies, the jars, to build our project. Let's wait a little bit, and after wait Eclipse downloads the dependencies, we let's start to build our project. First, we create an entity class car. Entity class car. I'll go project. This is my entity class car. I will create two simple attributes: private string model and private int seats. I will create a constructor using fields and the methods getter and setters. That's here. Our entity class car is created. Now we'll create a car DTO, the class that mappings the entity car from general proposals in a project. I will create all attributes like a string with another name to show how use and how mapping these different names in this library, in this framework, MapStruct. I will call model of model name and seats and num seats. Okay, model name, model seats, num seats, and model name. Here I will create source constructors and fields and source getter and setters. That's here. Okay, we have two classes, and now we'll create our mapper class. Is that be an interface? Okay, I will call car converter. First step is use this annotation mapper of org MapStruct. This annotation will define this interface as a class, as a object that will mapping my entity and my DTO. I will create a single attribute to do effectively the binding of two objects. Let's do that. Car converter mappers dots get mapper and use this name, and that's it. This object will do a conversation of car to car DTO and vice versa. Now we create two methods to do the conversions. First, get entity that will return an entity car, and the second we'll call get DTO that return car DTO. That's it. From get entity, I will pass a parameter of DTO, car DTO, call it DTO. From this object, the library will create this object of this class. Get DTO will create a car DTO from car called entity. Okay, and we need to put some annotations to inform the attribute names using this class mapping, using these attributes source and target. The source on get the entity is the DTO, that is model name and num sits. Model name and num sits. Here and target model, and here sits. And get DTO method, the attribute name is opposite. Just change the order from the names. And that's it. It is everything that we have to do to use this library, and that works perfectly. Okay, now we can convert car to DTO and DTO to car. Let's test right now to check if it works perfectly. I create a package called test and call car test. I will create a first method to call test entity to DTO. This annotation is from JUnity, and now we create an entity to DTO. Then we have to create an entity car, instantiate new car model BMW Z1 with 4 seats. And now we create a car DTO from a car entity, just using car convert that we create some times ago, just using this attribute called converter and get DTO from an entity called the car that we create above. Just that's it. We have a DTO populated, converted from a car entity. Let's check. Right now it's just a test. Here we use assert that from assert j, and we test DTO dot get model name get is equal to BMW Z1. And now check get num sits. Remember that the number of seats in DTO is a string, different of entity that is int, the integer number. And now we will check our tests, and that's it. Right now we can test our method, but remember how. But remember, we have to install to build our process, because this framework, this library called we have to build our approach because MapStruct is a preprocessor, is a compiler, is a annotation processor. Needs to build to create everything behind our codes to bind, to connect, convert to car entity to DTO. Then we can test now. Just run as and JUnit, and that's it. That works. We create an entity car BMW Z1 for assets, and here, sorry, for seats, and we convert before after here, and after we when check here with change to BMW Z2 don't works. Z1 is the expected works. Remember that DTO is a string value on seats. Change here, run as, done works. Come back to for seats, works, and we can test our another method. Test DTO to entity. Now we start with a DTO, create a DTO, new, instantiate a new DTO, and inform model name and string num seats. Now is string number as a string. After we can convert a DTO to an entity. Car converter point to get now is an entity. Inform as a parameter DTO. And now let's check the entity getting model and seats is equal BMW Z1. Now I will change the model Porsche Cayenne with 2 seats. Here expected Porsche Cayenne and entity is an integer number 2, and we'll test, and that's okay. That's it. If I change here, Cayennes is a wrong name, the test fails. Correcting, test works. Change the number of seats, the test fails. And that's it. Come back to 2 seats and all 2 tests works. Guys, that's it. If somebody has some comments or doubts, please comment, and it'd be a pleasure answer you as soon as possible. God bless you. Bye bye.